1 yard out of that big pile and part of another yard, and I ran some more shovelfuls through this morning out of the second yard. So now I only have 50 more shovelfuls to put through the trommel, and that'll be 2 yards from the big pile. And then I'm going to clean up the sluice box, and I won't show you guys doing that because you've already seen it from the past cleanups. But I'm going to clean that up and see how much gold is in that pile, if any. It'd be good to know. And I think that'll be good. That'll be it for that pile for this this trip this year, because I want to build a settling pond over by the pile to run, so I don't have to haul it all over up here. But yeah, and then for the rest of the trip, I think I'm just going to work out of this hillside, and then before I leave, I'm going to try to do a yard over by the camp. See, I know there's a little bit of gold in there, not as good as this this hillside, but I'm going to try to do a yard out of that, just 1 yard probably out of that pile. So I'm going to show you how to start the trommel. You usually have to do some. It gets a lot of roots caught in here, and you usually have to go up with a stick and poke the roots out. But I did it a while ago, and it's not too bad yet. There are roots, but it's not too bad. And every once in a while, you got to put some chain oil on the chain so you don't wear out the chain and sprocket, because the chain's not super expensive, but the sprocket and these 2 rings were like was about $1,000 with driving and with gas and stuff, getting them included. So yeah, and I got a bunch of stuff put on here that I'll show you after. I'm gonna try to keep the water off the chain. There is some. I'm gonna have to figure out something a little bit better later, probably, but this is the best I can do with what I got out here right now. All right, so the first thing when you get going with the trommel is you want to go start. Well, you want to either start the trommel or start the pump. Doesn't matter. But you want to start with both these valves closed, because you don't. If you have, unless the sluice box has no concentrate in it, you just did the clean up and put the riffles back in. You want to start. You don't want a fast rush of water right away. You want to just slowly open the valves once the pump's running, and slowly let water in. And then right away you want to throw some dirt in, because you don't want clear water going through your sluice box. Sometimes the way it's working here, I can't help it sometimes. Sometimes I gotta go clear out the tailings, which I find it's about every 40 shovelfuls I gotta go and clear the tailings. And then sometimes you just get tired doing it by hand, and you don't keep up with it right away. So sometimes sometimes it ends up clear water going through, and I don't know, there's a possibility. They say you can lose gold doing that. I haven't lost any of I'm still getting a bunch of coarse gold, so I very well could be losing fine gold. I'm not too worried about that, because sometime in the future, if I ever have a piece of equipment here, all these tailings, I'm going to run them through again. Just because with a piece of equipment, this will be like 20 minutes, all these tailings, even though this is like days of handwork. With a piece of equipment, this will be like 20 minutes to run through something. But whether it's this trommel or something, whether or a bigger trommel or whatever it is. But all right, so yeah, so I'm going to turn the pump on, slowly turn these valves on, start the trommel, and I'm going to do 50 shovelfuls. To run about 1,400 RPM. Alright, so that's 50 shovelfuls. So now I've run about for roughly 2 yards of gravel through that big pile. So anyway, I will show you. Alright, so this is what the sluice box is. And I know some of you will say, watching this, it's not right to have this all cleared out and those sluice boxes and those riffles aren't even. This, yeah, I'm gonna have to do some work on this sluice box. I think I'm gonna have to move the whole sluice box over a bit, put legs on the end here instead of having the chains, because when the gravel's coming out of the distribution chute here, it's all shooting right out of this corner here and all coming right here. It's all hitting right here. That's why it's really clean in here. And this mat here is supposed to this mat here is supposed to slow the water down, which it's doing. It's helping a little bit than it was, but for some reason it's kind of not as, the water's not aggressive on this side. The water's not as strong on this side, and it's building up here more. I've raised the sluice box up, this leg up a little bit, which I don't know, it was level, I don't know if it's level now, but it's doing a little bit better. But I got to do some thinking on this sluice box. The Trommel's working perfectly fine, but I got to do some thinking on the sluice box and how to just the sluice box and how I'm going to make it work. Maybe I got to add something else on the end of the distribution chute to even it out a bit. I don't know. But if you have any ideas, put a comment below. And so yeah, so if there's any fine, I'm not getting very much fine gold that I can see anyway. I mean, I'm not running that many yards in the whole grand scheme of things, so maybe I'm not getting enough to really notice in fine gold. But in the last 3 yards I ran from that hillside there, it seems to be pretty good. So it's catching all the coarse gold anyway, which was 1.22 grams per 3 yards. So you do the math, I think that comes out to about 1.25 or 1.3 ounces per 100 yards. So if you ran 100 yards of gravel out of this hillside anyway, you should get 1.25 or 1.3 ounces of gold, which would be pretty good. That's pretty good numbers anyway. If you could run that much yards, which you need big equipment to run 100 yards, and that kind of 100 yards quickly and that kind of thing. Anyway, here's the modifications I did on the Trommel here. It's kind of expensive here. The amount of trips I did from here to Quesnel, it's $60 there and back. I don't know how many times I did it to buy something else, but so it's kind of expensive fix. Anyway, I put this piece right here. It was a mat. I got a Canadian Tire, a floor mat or a stair mat, and I cut it to fit there. Kind of supposed to make a seal. It's not doing 100% because I'm still getting these rocks through. But then I put this pool noodle around there, and it helped a little bit with the water flow. And I put a bunch of bolts through here, and then I put a bunch of acrylic caulking around here. I put a bunch of acrylic, not silicone but sealant around there, and it worked, but it doesn't really go. It's still a little soft. Anyway, I guess that's the way it is. And then I put this little piece of tin under here, really close to the chain. And that's managing a lot of the water. But looks at the chain, I'm getting a little bit of water in the chain, but I think that's the best I can do this trip. What I almost need to do is get a little lip here welded onto the sprocket, kind of like a cone shape around there to deflect the water, maybe even, or also need about another ring to go around. I need another ring to go around, but another ring like this, maybe twice in width, or maybe 3 times as wide. So the chain's here, and then another ring like this, but one that comes out to here, just to prevent all the water from getting on that chain. But that's not something I can do out here. That's something I'm going to have to figure out in the future. Anyway, yes, and the trommel's named after my dad, as you know from a previous video. And then when I put this piece of tin on, or aluminum, I had this stuff around here, kind of like I had here, but then the edge of this was going along that bead, and then I just ended up going around the edge like that, which is actually working kind of good in a way. I haven't put any grease in the in these wheels yet, because my grease gun's all taken apart and it's full of grease everywhere. So when I get a chance at a place that I don't want to spill a bunch of gas, and I kind of need to stick the grease gun in a bucket of gasoline and get all the grease off of it. Anyway, I gotta do that in a spot I don't want to spill gas, and I don't want to do that out here. So yeah, that's that, and this is the valve. So when I get it going, I kind of turn this on slowly when the pump's running, slowly till it's full. And then this one, just the water when I open that. And then this one, I want to turn it about there is where I want it. And then I don't want this just spraying everywhere. I kind of want it to just come to about right here. Not very much pressure, but just enough to wash it down. But I want most of the pressure inside here, washing all the clay and everything off the pay dirt. So I got this hose that comes to here. I got this this end piece so I don't get any bending in the hose right here, kind of cutting off water flow. Then I've got this hose, this lay flat hose that comes to the pump here, which has a little this is actually a forestry firefighting thing I bought that just comes off the pump, and then it's a garden hose connection. That goes to the garden hose just to help do cleanups. Then of course I got the 1-inch pump there to do run the cleanup sluice. So alright, so now I'm going to do the cleanup on that sluice box, and I'm also going to clean the gold off of this part of the high banker, or clean the stuff off of it and then just pan it out. And then the rest of the high banker, I gotta, all the concentrate that's still on it, I gotta clean it out and pan it out just to make sure I'm not throwing any gold away. Alright, so that's basically that, and I'll do the cleanup here and go from there. And one thing I'm going to do over here, I already got it shoveled out into a 5-gallon pail, but I have this culvert right here. So it was a bunch of gravel that was right in there. Anyway, I shoveled into a 5-gallon pail. I'm going to pan it, see if there's any gold in it. I wanted to kind of pan some stuff out of the culvert because it kind of acts like a sluice box, but I can't see if there's any gravel or anything inside the culvert. So I don't know, maybe I'll look on the other end over there and see what I get. Here's the trail that goes up the claim side up through the middle of the claim, or that far cell. Anyway, I got a bunch of the willows cleared so you can at least see a little ways down here. This was completely covered in, you couldn't see anything. So alright, so I just wanted to show you the hour meter on the Trommel. So far the Radical R has 10.2 hours. And it's working perfectly fine. No mechanical issues. And you can see here's the tailings pile. There's that. Here's the other tailings. That's at the edge of that settling pond. Used to be about right here. So if I ever get a piece of equipment in here, I'm going to have to use that to dig this out back to the way it was. Eventually it's going to get all the way over here, and then we'll be able to use the settling pond anymore. Okay, so I was working here, and I kind of discovered a nice method to doing the excavation on this hillside. I'm starting from the bottom, and I'm working my way up, kind of going back and forth like this. And I'm just taking little bits. I'm just chipping a little bit off at a time. So you're going to kind of imagine in the winter with an ice chip, chipping a big patch of packed snow or ice. You don't start in the middle and start breaking it up. You start on the edge and you just take little bits off at a time and then work your way to the middle. Here I'm starting from the bottom and working my way to the top, just taking off little bits at a time. And for some reason it's kind of more, there's more clay over here than there is over here. It's a lot easier to break apart here than it is over there for some reason. Just over here it seems a lot more packed and a lot more rocks and stuff like that. But so I don't know. Hopefully the gold's the same there as it is there. But we'll see when I do the cleanup on the sluice box. I'm not going to be doing. I'm not doing the cleanup until I'm ready to move the trommel from here over to there, which will be the last day. Anyway, yeah. So the fixes on the trommel seem to be working not too bad. Still going to have to figure out something next year to keep water off that chain, but what I got here is the best I can do. That's what I got this trip.